So E3 2016 has happened, and there was a lot shown off. Though, honestly, there was a lot I didn't care about, like FIFA, Watch Dogs 2, VR, Gears of War 4, stuff like that. But there was stuff shown off that I'm really interested in, especially during Sony's conference, so I decided to make a list of the top 10 games that interested me the most from E3 2016. Couple of disclaimers to get out of the way. 1, I don't care if they showed gameplay or a pre-rendered cutscene or a trailer or anything like that. If the game was shown in any form and excited me, it's eligible for the list. 2, it doesn't matter if it was announced this E3 or was announced at a previous E3 and was shown off more this E3. If it was shown at this E3, it counts. And 3, this is a personal list. This is what excited me. So if you see a game you aren't excited for on this list, or you don't see a game you are excited for on this list, remember, this is my personal opinion, so post in the comments what excited you. And now, the list. Kyle, you could play it now. Kyle, you're supposed to play the top... God damn it, Kyle, do I need to do everything myself? I have never played a Quake game, yet when I saw the trailer for Quake Champions, I got hyped. I'm not an enormous fan of Bethesda, and it's not because I don't like their games, it's because I haven't played a lot of their games. But they've gotten a lot of critical acclaim, and I've heard that the Doom reboot was amazing, so I have no doubt they'll make this great. The reason it's at the bottom of the list, however, is because of what platforms it could be on. Or rather, what platforms it may not be on. I'm a console guy, and I don't have a PC that can run big, detailed FPSs, and from the language they used in the conference, it seems like it may be PC exclusive. Though even if I got a PC that could run it, I suck with keyboard and mouse. Hopefully it'll come to consoles, but either way, I'm excited. Sea of Thieves is the first Rare game that I've been excited for. The art style looks beautiful, and I love the pirate theme. Plus, multiplayer pirate battles. Yes! Yes! Although I thought the E3 gameplay was a bit odd with the weird Let's Players in it, it still got me excited. My only worry about it concerns a single-player campaign, as I've heard nothing about one. I really hope the game isn't multiplayer only, as I'm a person who prefers a good story over multiplayer, but either way I'm sure it will be fun. I'm still hoping for single-player though. When you think of God of War, you probably think of a very bloody action game starring a badass Spartan. That's what I think of anyway. But when they showed gameplay of the new God of War, I was surprised. Not only because Kratos wasn't dead and didn't have the chains around his arms, or even that he had a son. What surprised me was the huge shift in gameplay. This game seems to be taking a few notes from The Last of Us, seeming to focus a lot more on the characters, and the gameplay has gone from a wide view hack and slash combat to a third-person melee strategy. I feel like I could have explained that better. This makes me cautious, but also very intrigued as to what it could be like. I mean, The Last of Us was awesome, and God of War is extremely badass, so mix the two together and hopefully it's a good combination. I don't know. Maybe the shift could be bad, but what I do know is that bearded Kratos looks badass. And sexy. The RPG game everyone is excited for is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The RPG game I'm excited for is South Park: The Fractured But Whole. Honestly, the new Zelda looks bland to me. Very pretty, but bland. South Park, on the other hand, looks very fun and interesting to me. I'm not even a huge South Park fan. I mean, it's not a bad show, I just don't enjoy it as much as other shows, but this game looks like so much fun. It makes me glad that they aren't just rehashing the Stick of Truth with a new superhero theme glued on. They're actually updating the gameplay in a very interesting way. Now instead of just turn-based combat, you can move around your enemies to get an advantage, push and pull them, push them into objects, hit them into party members to deal extra damage. My god, it looks awesome! And I do love Marvel, but I have to say that the jabs the game makes at them are hilarious.
This franchise plan sucks! If we want to make billions of dollars, then I think we should start with the Tupperware movie.
Right, start with a black superhero.
Marvel is making a black superhero movie.
Yeah, now!
Oh, and speaking of Marvel, Insomniac Games have made my favorite franchise of all time, Ratchet & Clank. Marvel has made one of my favorite superheroes of all time, Spider-Man. Put them together and what do you get? This amazing looking thing! No pun intended. I've only played 2 Spider-Man games in my life, Shattered Dimensions and Spider-Man 3 on DS, and while those games were fun, this game looked spectacular. Pun definitely intended that time. Insomniac already has experience with parkour from Sunset Overdrive, so I have no doubt in my mind that this game will make you feel like the actual Spider-Man. I do find it a little odd that Sucker Punch isn't working on it, as they've had experience with superhero games, but I don't care. It's still a game by a developer I love, and I'm still super hyped for it. Here are my thoughts on the Crash PS1 trilogy. Crash 1 sucked, 2 was awesome, haven't played 3. And I'm not even a huge Crash fan based on how few of the games I've played, which I mentioned in my Crash of the Titans review, which you can watch here. But even with that being the case, when they announced that Sony and Activision were working together to bring complete remakes of Crash 1, 2, and 3 to the PS4, oh my god, I cannot tell you how excited I got. I mean, they didn't actually show any footage, which I guess goes against my disclaimer a little, but it was still announced, so I say it counts. Plus, this means Crash 2 in HD on PS4. I never thought I'd say this, but Activision, take my money. My name is Ghost Ion, and this is why I'm excited for Detroit Become Human. Made by the creators of Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls, both games I've never played despite owning one of them, Detroit Become Human looks like an amazing detective game. With lots of possible outcomes and a very intriguing setup involving humans and androids living among each other, this is the first Quantic Dream game I'm super excited for. And honestly, I don't have anything else to say. Can we move on, please? ReCore looks beautiful, and it has robots. Despite being made by the same guys who are making Mighty Number Fuck Yourself and not knowing much about the story, ReCore still looks awesome, and it makes me want to buy an Xbox One. The robot companions seem very useful, and I like the setting from what I've seen. Also, the main protagonist reminds me of Rey from The Force Awakens, which gives it extra points in my book. I don't like horror games. This is because I'm a pansy and get scared very easily. That being said, Resident Evil 7. Holy hell, like everyone else, I did not expect that at all. While I have not played Resident Evil 5 or 6, I have heard a lot of people complain about how action-filled they were and wishing they'd go back to their horror roots, so I haven't played them. I mean, I haven't played any of the games despite owning 2 through 4 because like I said, I'm a pansy, but I've stayed extra clear of those 2 games. But that trailer, that frickin' trailer, my god, it was creepy as fuck. The lack of light, the tape played at the end, the lack of jump scares, the fact that it didn't even mention Resident Evil until the end. It's now one of the best trailers I've ever seen for a video game, just ever. I've anticipated horror games before, but never have I been so excited for a horror game before, and there's even a demo for it that I'll have to play. The game comes out in January, so before then I'll have to play at least 4. Maybe I'll do a Halloween video on it. And finally, my number 1. The game that excited me the most this E3, and that honor goes to Horizon Zero Dawn. I want this game so badly. I'm usually not a fan of post-apocalyptic settings, as most of them I find very dull and boring, but this time, it takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where there are robotic creatures, including mechanical dinosaurs. Your move, Jurassic World 2! And a lot of post-apocalyptic media make the world very brown with a lot of muted colors, but this game, oh my god, it looks beautiful! I love the idea of using weapons like bows and arrows to fight big mechanical beasts, and the creative premise behind it, I love even more. And this heroine, Aloy, I love already. You know, I think I'm saying the word love too much. And the gameplay looks awesome too. Not only in combat, but with things such as interacting with other characters to hacking the mechanical animals to tame them.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Guerrilla Games, I have never played a game by you, but you have made me excited for Horizon more than any other game shown at E3. For that, I applaud you. So, that was my top 10 favorite games from E3 2016. Please, post in the comments what games from E3 excited you most. I'd love to see what games people are excited for. Honorable mentions: For Honor, Dishonored 2, Fe, and Gravity Rush 2. Still really excited for those games, but I didn't have room for them on the list. Anyways, I'm Ghost Ion, and I'll see you in the next video. Am I the only one who thinks Breath of the Wild sounds more like a Far Cry title than it does a Zelda one?